Got it. I'll set off right away.
Amber, are you here to help out with Jean's commission?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I was just getting ready. Who better than an outrider to mop up some hilly trails on the delivery route?
Oh,
Sarah, what?
you misunderstood. Another bizarre order came in just now. It's like they're... Really? You... That would be wonderful.
Yeah, well...
Well, why don't you take...
Are you sure?
We're well...
A fight?
For this... Okay, go and get ready.
Oh,
Have you brought me 3 sweet flowers? Yep, that's every... Now, order number 7.
And so begins...
You did say... Any news on that sweet madame? One sweet
Sticky honey rose?
That's right. The knights order it. Let me teach you the...
Wait, didn't...
With your cooking, as soon as that sticky... I'm still waiting on one sticky honey... I'm still waiting on one sticky honey... This is... Wow! Did you...
Are we released from kitchen?
Yes. If you ever get...
Think we're finally finished with the commissions we were doing for Jean. A day in the life of Jean, really? What? Wonder how she's feeling now. Let's head to the cathedral and pay her a visit. Hi, Barbara. We're back.
welcome back. You must be exhausted. Oh, it's not. Jean has regained...
That's great news.
But she just left the... She tried...
Where?
Oh, Jean goes there. What?
Barbara.
Jean, mentioned it to me. That's what I'm...
Don't worry.
Great.
Lady Vanessa, I hope your watch over Mondstadt remains unclouded. I do not know if I, or the rest of the world, as you had hoped for, have become stronger. Huh? not expecting you to come.
Are you sure? We saw you beneath the tree just now. Are you sure you aren't pushing yourself too hard?
Oh, thank you. But I must find a way to cope with minor
You truly revere...
I do. Vanessa was the first Grandmaster, a kind yet formidable woman. As the Lion Fang Knight, she courageously overthrew the oppressive...
Dandelion Knight?
Actually, all of the Knights of Favonius Masters throughout the ages.
Oh, that makes sense. You too want to be as gentle as the Dandelion Knight, and...
Yes, I know it, but I see it more as a huge response. After all, it is a lot to live up to.
Paimon thinks so too.
Huh?
Jean?
Who's there?
Finally, an opportunity comes to get rid of the master and...
How did they know about Jean's choosing this moment to strike as a...
As long as my name is the Dandelion Knight, I swear I
Since this opportunity has slipped away, I shall now be
Stop! After him!
Jean, you're still recovering.
No,
Jean,
I do trust you.
fine, but
Thank you for...
At the ready.
are you hurt? Ugh, darn it.
How badly are you hurt? Oh, one of my own being injured because of me is the... Let me hand...
No, you are in no state...
Okay, but before we move out, at least...
Thanks. Here...
Go as one!
Barbados, guide us.
Windblade!
Looks like our fate finally aligned. To think you chased me this far. Face my brave subordinates. Some of them drown their fear of water.
Cool it! Oh, so sorry.
Speed of light! Hey! Cut to the chase! Incoming!
reignite the
Disappear! Wind blade!
Don't blink! Wind, hear me. With sword comes shadow. Incoming.
With the wind!
looks like our fates are intertwined. The things you pushed me this far. I need to redeem myself.
Wind blade!
No one escapes my sight.
Freeze!
Speed of light. Incoming.
The main thing is,
Yes.
Master, you finally returned.
Swan, were you?
Yes, at the Angel's Share. Don't worry, it's nothing big. Okay, I know I said it's nothing big, but...
huh?
Well, if you say so, Swan, it's fine. Now,
Oh, great.
For goodness sake, what is happening to the world? Swan used to be the most honest fellow. Now he's dumping things onto Jean.
well, Swan was clearly agitated. Maybe it is an emergency.
Be safe. May the animal Archon protect you.
Oh, what's
It's a thank you party for you.
a thank you part?
Jean, when we heard the news about your illness, we were all so... We can only imagine how much pressure you...
We thought that since you so rarely take any time off, after all, you'll never let us do this once you're back at...
Jean?
I...
Huh? Is this Jean when she's shy?
It's easy to forget that outside of work, Jean is...
This is just all. Thank you, everyone. This.
Well,
But there are so many things I still need to do.
Fear not. We wanted to make sure you could relax, and so while you were away, we all pitched in and finished off your work for you.
Did you really? Even the issue with the food
It was no different from what we see on patrol. A couple of hilly churls.
and the tax returns?
I spend so much time doing library admin. A few more pieces of paper to do.
Well, what about Margaret?
Are you kidding me? That
rascally prince was apprehended by the brilliant honorary knight. And he also reclaimed my precious astral iron strings while he was—
Enough already. No more thinking about work.
It is my honor to work along. Speaking of work, it must have.
Actually, our friend here was the key organizer. See all of this food and drink? Not only that, but he cooked each one of them, so relax already. There's no need to be so modest. Of course, we also have Master Diluc to thank for the venue. Otherwise, we would be looking at quite an alarm.
Despite my initial reluctance to I, like any other citizen of Mondstadt—
Oh,
All right. Jean Support agreed. Now, let the party begin!
It looks like everyone seems to be partying hard. Paimon thinks we should join in the fun. Let's go and mingle. Oh, and Paimon thinks she saw Jean go upstairs by herself. Let's make sure the...
oh, it is you. Yes,
Uh-oh. It seems...
I want to thank you again. It is good to be here together with it. And
What's that?
I am definitely more of a Dandelion Knight than the Lion Fang Knight represents Vanessa's past. A past in which but it was the Dandelion Knight that represented her hopes for the future. I do believe that Vanessa watches over. Let the wind lead.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining, but why would they take... Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to... The entire clan is counting on that food.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't...
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this! Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be... We heard the commotion and came to...
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. No one seems to care about us. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever... Maybe we should talk to her.
I've never even heard of these emergency I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse, that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently...
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the vision.
To be perfectly honest, I don't... All I know is that I will perform certain things every month. And it's not just that.
Does it have to do with the missing...
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through... To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
Huh. But we better confirm. We should be able to follow their...
We really outdid ourselves all those samurai houses packed with goods.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be... Today's just the beginning. You demand, but...
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after.
Oh, so sorry.
Don't blink!
Little taste. Oh, there goes all the Mora. Well, come on, Bob.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure? Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh?
So what did you see inside?
Food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal?
You've got a deal.
Huh? What the? There's nothing in here.
Yeah. A lot of them too, and they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods. We better talk to this Missop. As for you guys, you're free to go.
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Welcome to Tsukumo, or perhaps there. Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa.
Whoa! Let's not get ahead. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost.
So that's how he was getting. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have. So he deemed it necessary to take on the.
Wow. And no one ever.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. As for why he chose to spend his own money, if you're still curious, why don't you go. I see. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword.
Sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy anything!
Information is also. Don't worry, I won't charge much.
At least we now know where the emergency provision. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again. And. What are you doing?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself... But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare them... This sword was one... I remember once when I was young... What did he say? It would seem that I forgot all I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his end. Said...
Hey! If you look carefully, can you recognize the words?
Virtue? Somehow those two words seem to be taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased... The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about... In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems... Fortunately for us, let's go find the next... who had their vision taken? Paimon heard that he's the present. This is his dojo.
Nanako, don't worry. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end.
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism...
Hey there!
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live...
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard... but then we got here and overheard...
From the way you're dressed, please, accept my apologies. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow Sensei's name is Domon. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to He once said that his goal was to become the... And so... But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his... He says the strangest things over, and Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil... But if I'm honest, I still...
The Grand Narukami?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine... Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami shrine... So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just... The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both...
So, losing your vision can cause...
So you decided to come. Just now, when Nanako was when she asked him who the people were, he suddenly it looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his all the while he kept calling those names. One of them was Anzai. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. The ritual has now begun. Please, excuse me.
Huh? Who's that sneaking? We won't let them get... Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sight!
How? Are you sure you're Domon? Unless... I guess...
Excuse me? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side. I don't care to talk about that time anymore.
His senior?
Anzai? Yes. That's because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as practitioners of Meikyo. But Domon was Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such. I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since... He was consumed by his singular desire to become the...
Sure sounds like...
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, later, after that So, I decided to... So you see... Okay, You've heard my story.
Seems like we got it wrong. Still, Paimon's...
What? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, but spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed and all is certainly not lost. For I received word—
Lady Yai? Is that—
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Nar—
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your—
Excuse me, Miss Inagi.
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you— I must leave now, but we—
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have taken—
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough?
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. Anyway, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our
Sure! Who knows? Maybe...
Is this an answer from this world?
Do you think that's Lady Yai? Also, is it just Paimon? It was probably nothing.
Keep away. I gave up the art of the sword.
As you can see, Domon has persisted in this.
Lady Yai, it must be this is nothing like him at all.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is... yes. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wit as one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss...
Stripped of his ambition? But
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it? Stillness of mind, freedom from all... There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his...
Lady Yai, I'm not...
The path of the sword, it requires one to take their sword. Only a deep commitment when that ambition
Poor sensei.
I'm sorry, Father.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that... Did he follow us the whole way?
Hansai, why are there... You're here for revenge, aren't you?
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kind. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambition short, we entrusted... Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, but that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the...
But what if one day... I put everything I had into trying to become the best. If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go...
Have you asked them what they
Sensei, after I can't know whether I want to keep going until the day...
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us...
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hand. Being stripped of your ambition is something that... So, just as I once placed my you are not in the same position that I was.
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the I no longer have the resolve to be... But as your sensei, this is my promise.
You can count on that. I'd be checking, but I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore. Well, don't just stand...
So even though his ambition was taken away...
Traveler, a moment.
So, might the wind that blows from afar carries fresh light. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child.
Ooh, Lady Yai, she seems super mysterious. Paimon, we can come back.
Narukami, please. See that he stays.
What? Another bad one? No, let me try again.
If your tech dreams look like neon skylines, you're an Arcadian. Like, comment, and subscribe for more Augmented Arcadia. Don't miss out.